Hi, welcome to my very first YouTube video. This is for my EDTE 3308 class at Cal State University, Bakersfield. That's Sociocultural Foundations of Education. I had to cheat because that's a pretty long title. Anyways, this is for spring 2017 and it's for Professor Ramirez's class. I had to attend a board meeting for one of the school districts, and I chose to do Bakersfield City School District. They have, I believe approximately 34 or 35 elementaries, 10 junior high / middle schools, and 1 gate school. They cover approximately from grades TK all the way up through 8th grade. So the president of the board is Lillian Tafoya, and then there were 4 other board members: Dr. Raymond J. Gonzalez, Pam Bauer, Dr. Fred L. Hines, and Russ Schuper. So I believe they were all there. I'm not sure. I was kind of sitting off to the side, so it was hard to see everyone. The board actually meets every Tuesday, or every 4th Tuesday of the month, and the format of the meeting was pretty laid back. I mean, it was by the book in that they went through all of the topics and they announced it as we went along, but nobody got super agitated during this meeting. It was pretty relaxed in conversation when they would discuss the different topics. There were a couple of topics. Well, actually, first of all, I thought it was pretty interesting that they started off the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with doing it. I did it all growing up, but from what I had heard is that they had stopped doing it in schools, so I thought it would be really interesting that they would do it for the board member meeting when they're not allowed to do it in the schools, but I didn't really look it up, so I'm not sure where Bakersfield City School District stands on that. The boy that they asked to do it is a student at Chipman Junior High, and he actually went into cardiac arrest at school, and they had to come to his rescue with the AED machine. And so they really wanted to point out how important it is to have those machines in the school and to have the staff trained on them. And I actually just went through my training yesterday. I decided to go and get first aid, CPR, and AED certified at the American Red Cross here in Bakersfield. So then, so before the meeting, they actually had a display. It was there was a program about the arts before the meeting. There was a lot of artwork from students in the district, and it was put on by Mr. Mike Stone, which I'm kind of bummed that I missed it. I guess I didn't look at the agenda for the day close enough, because Mr. Stone was actually my junior high band director, so it would have been nice to see him. I know I've been down to the district office a few times for interviews, and I've run into him there. So one of the things that they went over at the meeting, one of the main presentations, was on, if I can find it, the LCAP update and proposed actions for 2017 through 2020. It's this big program that they're actually trying to put together, and it's a 3-step process, or 3 different aspects of this program. They are building a new school, and they really want to promote the arts, and they've changed STEM, which science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and they've decided to include art, so now it's STEAM, which I'm really excited for, because like I said earlier, I'm a musician, and that's really kind of how I found my niche in school, was through the arts and music. So a lot of the programs that they talked about tonight are about including arts in education, and that how No Child Left Behind had kind of done away with the arts because they were trying to get everybody to meet the standards and the standardized testing. Another one which I thought was really interesting is there was another proposal that night. which was on a report on alternative education. And basically, there's a lot of at-risk students in the Bakersfield City School District. Both of the proposals talked about at the LCAP and the alternative education included steps that they want to take to address chronic absenteeism. I guess it's a really big problem with, parents not making sure that their kids are getting to school, or kids having problems with emotional anxiety and not wanting to go to school. So this second program about the alternative education really wanted to address the anxiety, and they also both addressed behavioral problems that they're having. And the LCAP initiative actually addressed maybe having more intramural sports during lunch to curb some of those behaviors, whereas the proposed alternative education program wanted to have a separate class where they took the students and taught them, had a plan of action for their behaviors and how to change their behaviors into more positive behaviors. So the board didn't really seem very impressed with that one. I didn't hear an official vote on it, but it was pretty much a no from where I was sitting, at least. And I thought it was a neat idea, even if it was just, a test run. But they were all for still enforcing, whatchamacallit, I can't think of the word right now. Anyways, punishing kids by taking them out of school instead of trying to change the behaviors, just treating the behavior with consequences. So that's kind of what I took away from the meeting. Let's see if I missed anything. Oh yeah, the different types of business that they addressed. So, they opened up the floor to the public for comments. They also did the superintendent's report. They gave time for the assistant superintendent to report. They opened up the floor for those 2 actions that are proposed for the schools. One of the things that they voted on is that they really, because there's such a shortage of teachers here, and especially in the Bakersfield City School District, they want to have the option of keeping subs on, because right now there's a law saying that a substitute teacher can only be in the class for a maximum of 1 month at a time before they have to switch. So if a teacher takes a long leave of absence during the school year, then that class is at a disadvantage because they're having, substitute after substitute after substitute come in. So what they're trying to do is challenge that and have an exception made, possibly maybe just for their school district or maybe for other school districts. But, I guess it's a really big problem. And so they want that addressed. I know my stepson, he ran into that problem his kindergarten year, and it was very frustrating for all of us because, it led to a lot of behavior issues. He was getting in trouble a lot, and there was never one teacher that we could go to address the issue. We had to go to the principal, and, finally, by, I think, the beginning of April or the end of March, they had finally found a permanent teacher for the class, but by then it's kind of like a wasted year. So I understand how they feel at that point. And they discussed regular business. They went over numbers and costs for the school district. And I think, just the general functions. So it's all kind of like a regular board meeting. I used to be part of the band board, I guess you could say. And so it's just you go over minutes, you approve them at the end, and if there's any new business, then you bring it up. And so it was pretty structured. It wasn't a huge turnout. I guess there was a pretty big turnout for the art display that I missed at the beginning, but other than that, it was kind of small. So thank you for watching my very first video. I'm glad none of my kids woke up to interrupt me, and have a good evening.